we're looking at Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green.
Ooh.
Now let's have a quick look here. Bobby Green is in the blue corner, 29-14-1-1, no contest. And Tony Ferguson is 26-8. I feel like he was very good as of late until he wasn't. So a lot of that loss streak has been compiled in his very much most recent days. But look, if we want to look at level of competition once again and go back to that argument, it's not been a walk in the park who's been up against. Now, we've got... the reach advantage, which is worth mentioning in this particular matchup because it's going to be 5.5 inches for Tony Ferguson on top of Bobby Green. Yeah, 76.5 against Bobby Green's 71. Now, yeah. Now, who's going to be fighting at range is going to be my question. Who's going to be wanting to utilize that?
Yeah, so it's kind of perfect fight for either of them.
I agree. Perfect.
Tony Ferguson, obviously, because the first round that Tony had against Chandler, I dropped him.
Yep.
So, and then obviously we all know Bobby Green likes to stand and bang. So again, this one's another tough one.
Yeah. My take on this one was Bobby Green is this exciting fighter as well. I feel like he's like embodying someone else is just a bit more than what he is at yet. So I see him try. He's almost fighting like he's Max Holloway, and he's like, you're not quite there yet. But
I get what you mean.
He gets comfortable. He gets real comfortable in his striking, starts throwing, getting really loose, which I love to see. But then what comes with that comfortability is his complacency. And we saw it against Drew Dober. He knew not to be backed up against the fence. And he did such a great job of getting away from it, to be fair, up until the point. But he got a little bit too carried away in his striking. He thought he could, and then Drew Dober sort of cocked him against the fence. And that is very much more of a mistake by Bobby Green rather than superior athletic outworking from Drew Dober. Take enough away from Drew Dober. He did all the right things. But Bobby Green made the mistake, and that was his loss. He took the L because of his mistake. And look, I think Tony Ferguson is a kind of fighter that can pick up on people's mistakes. His level of competition as of late, he hasn't been offered many mistakes at all.
It's true.
He's a bit wild and quite a freestyle fighter. So I do believe that if he stays disciplined and puts it on Bobby Green, he could probably catch him slipping.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
But look, that's a couple takes there. But in terms of how this fight's going to take place, on the feet, or do you reckon it's going to hit the ground?
I think it'll be on the feet. Yeah. I think if anyone's going to initiate a takedown, I think it will be Tony.
Agreed.
Just to mix it in because he does it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think with a fight card as it is, he's got that kind of chip on his shoulder to want to stand and bang for the fans.
I think it's a fight he can come back and win. I think it's a winnable fight for Tony.
Yeah.
Winnable fight.
Question for you is, would there be any other fight you would have potentially put up for his comeback win? Do you know what I mean? Would you have thought of anyone else that could be suitable, if not Bobby Green, if he wasn't on the table?
Very good question. To be fair, he could have even fought Drew Dober, but I think that could have been a bad matchup. Actually, think about it.
He's very kind of Michael Chandler-y, isn't he?
I can't think of any lightweights, not in the rankings off the top of my head, but I still think it's a good fight for him. It's a very good fight for him.
Yeah,
stylistically anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is one of the good ones he could be going up against.
Exactly.
He does need a bit of a name as well. Win. Is Clay Guida still around?
Yes, that's
the name, is he? But yeah, I mean, I could kind of see that one being quite exciting. But
that'd be a good one.
But he's also got to do it against some kind of somewhat level of competition, and you do have the fact that Bobby Green did fight the champ. Was it last time?
Yes, that's very true. Yeah,
so that's kind of given some prestige to him as well, just by even losing to such a name as Islam Makhachev. All right, well that takes us into the gauges.
All right, quick couple of comments.
Some of the comments saying.
Blockhead says Ferguson just did an interview saying he is in his prime following his losing streak. I love El Kukui and his confidence, but ...
Yo, yeah.
I'm in my prime, but I've lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, that's kind of.
It's true. Something. You can't knock his confidence because it's crazy that he still sells. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Even though he's lost, what is it, 6 in a row now? 5 in a row? Is it 5? Let's count. Oops. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 in a row. Whoa.
Yeah, wild.
Some UFC fighters, I know obviously the prestige of Tony Ferguson, fighters get cut for less.
Yeah.
Comment from Stephen. He says, I feel like it's a shin to talk a sin. Sorry, shin. It's a sin to talk bad against Ferguson, but 5-fight losing streak, and Bobby Green is still going sharp. Stats are irrelevant as this is not the same Ferguson from the
that
old
we've seen
days.
Historically. Yeah.
Yes, it's very true. It's very true because he still talks
It's
the
true.
talk. He never walks the walk anymore, does he?
He's dyed his hair, and it's true.
I love that. Agree, Stephen says, Blockhead. Stephen, this is why I don't hold much weight to stats. Stats cover someone's entire career rather than their most recent fights.
Yeah.
1,000%, mate. Breezy, welcome in, Breezy. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Breezy?
Drop a like on the video. Sorry, I'm well late, but morning anyway, I guess.
Good to see you, Geese. Always morning for him.
How are we? We're doing fantastic. Last comment. TMM, best I can give as the resistant matchmaking in Guida, Miller, Green. Obviously, Michael Johnson, Joe Lozon, Paddy Pimblett. Only joking.
resident matchmaker. Yeah, look, there's some names in there, and you kind of want some legacy fights for a legend like Tony Ferguson as well, don't you? You do want to have another legendary match up against. So, look, you can think of a few, but this is going to be as good as any. Bobby Green on the other side of him, and ultimately talking about, I kind of paint a bit of a picture at the front end, right, in terms of how Bobby Green does kind of get complacent, make mistakes.
Yeah,
I think that's probably where Tony Ferguson's going to have to capitalize it.
Yeah, 100%.
Who would you give striking to?
It's one of them where if this was like TMM and Blockhead podcast saying about the Tony Ferguson of old, if this was the Tony Ferguson, if he wasn't on a 5-loss streak, then I'll kind of give striking to Ferguson. But we've seen it as of recent with Bobby Green, haven't we? He was even catching Drew Dober, but we all know how good Dober's chin is.
Yeah. Just kept pushing on him.
He was doing well against Jared Gordon as well. Obviously knocked out at Quinta. Did well against Nasbat Hasparat.
Getting grappling in there.
Oh, might have to go Bobby Green,
On strike him. He's fast.
But then again, Ferguson mixes in everything though, doesn't he? Elbows, kicks, knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to sub with Ferguson just because he mixes in all parts of the mixed martial arts game.
This is very true. Very true. Power. Who gets power?
Bobby Green can get power.
Yeah. Speed. I'll probably go Green on that one.
Ooh, Green as well. Yeah.
I'll probably go Green. Cardio.
Ferguson all day long.
He's a bogeyman. As in, like, he does not stop. He's gonna keep coming at you. Guys in the chats, do we agree with how that looks? Let us know if you go elsewhere and anywhere else in it. But look, I think this probably could make sense. I mean, striking's gonna be tough to divide between the two. Speed, El Kakui's got some, but Bobby Green is just the way that he throws his untelegraphed strikes. It's like flash, and then bam, he's found a target. He throws it from low by the hip, so you can't really see where they're coming from, and that's just kind of adds to how fast it just kind of seems like they're just
I get you,
rapid. But yeah, ultimately, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. And would you also choose Tony Ferguson on the night, do you think? Or do you think there's a bit of an X factor? There's something else that Bobby Green can bring here that we haven't been able to quantify here on the gauges?
That's the thing as well. We talk about X factor all the time. It's a very good factor, but can we talk about not having the X factor because Tony Ferguson may not have it anymore, and that's the thing. Like, we just don't know.
If Ferguson was to have that X factor, that's something unknown, uncategorized factor that gives him an edge in most of his fights.
Who's who though?
It's the grit.
His losses. Sorry,
yeah, it's true. All I'm saying is for Ferguson, I think that factor is like the grit. It's that kind of bogeyman facade he's been given because he's just going to keep coming forwards, and that's kind of how Drew Dober did it against Bobby Green. He was getting touched. He was getting touched throughout, but he kept coming forwards and trying to and hunting his prey, head hunting, mind you.
That's true.
So look, I feel like is the grit of Ferguson either going to get him to trouble like it has many times in the past? Yeah, he's just got caught because he's just been running into things.
Very good point, actually, Si.
Or is it going to break down Bobby Green? As Drew Dober, as we saw, determined.
Yeah,
Bobby Green was in that fight until he wasn't.
Very good point, mate.
Yeah.
So it's just looking at Tony Ferguson's losses. He's not like he's lost to no names or no one. He's lost to Justin Gaethje, lost to Charles Oliveira, lost to your boy Benil Dariush, lost to Michael Chandler, then lost to Nate Diaz.
So I think the question we should ask ourselves is, do we see Bobby Green as becoming one of a kind such name? Is there a path before him that's going to, you know, let's say he beats El Kakui. Now he's that's the gatekeeper to being up there, apparently, looking at it. So
that's the thing. It could be his last fight. If Tony loses this, he's got to be done. Got to be done. Because he's not losing to a ranked guy anymore. Well, I know. Obviously Nate Diaz ain't a ranked guy, but Nate Diaz is Nate Diaz, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, look, I think on this one, personally, myself, I'm gonna go with El Kakui just out of respect.
Yes,
and
same.
Even should he lose, I'd happily pick him because he's done so much for the sport. And it's just, you know, I think I'll just go mad if he wins. That'd be great.
Yeah. No, I think everyone will love it if he wins, just because people still back him.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's fought some top names that he's lost to. And obviously, I think that's why he's still around, because the names that he's lost to, like coming out, Charles Oliveira, Brunel Dariush, Justin Gaethje. Anyway, you get the next fight, so I'll get some chats.